Okay, this is our Module 5, D&E, and we're talking about geometry. Geometry is a branch of mathematics concerned with questions of shape, size, relative position of figures, and the properties of space. And today we're going to be doing activities using the Van Healy levels of geometric thought. The Van Healy model has 3 levels. Level 0, which is visualization, Level 1, which is analysis, and Level 2, which is informal deduction. 3 different things need to be taken into consideration when using the Van Healy model. The activities have to be sequential, which meaning the person must proceed through the levels in order. To function at a higher level, students must have acquired skills of levels below it. Advancement. Progress or lack of it from level to level depends on the content of methods of instruction received and not age. There might be high school students and adults who still operate at level 1 and 2. There are no instructional methods that allow students to skip levels. And 3, mismatch. If the student is at one level and instruction by the teacher is at a different level, the desired learning and progress will not occur. So first I'm going to start off by reading a book, and it's called The Greedy Triangle. And it's always great to start off a lesson with literature because children enjoy stories, and this has a lot of great pictures and bright colors. Once there was a triangle that was, as most triangles are, always busy. The triangle spent its time holding up roofs, supporting bridges, making music in the symphony orchestra, catching wind for sailboats, being slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. The triangle's favorite thing, however, was to slip into place when people had their hands on their hips. That way I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. The triangle's friends liked hearing the news. One day, the triangle began to feel dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," it grumbled. "There must be more to life." So the triangle went to see the local shapeshifter. "How may I help you?" the shapeshifter asked the triangle. "I think if I had just one more side and one more angle," said the triangle, "my life would be more interesting." "That's easy to do," said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the triangle into a quadrilateral. The triangle's not a triangle anymore. Life changed in a wonderful way. The quadrilateral was happy with all the new things it could do. The quadrilateral could be a baseball diamond, or first, second, or third base. It could take position on a checkerboard or a chessboard. It could be a television screen, a computer screen, or a movie screen. It could frame windows or frame pictures, and much, much more. The quadrilateral's favorite thing, however, was to be pages of a book. "I learned so many interesting stories that way," it said, in which I could tell my friends. The quadrilateral's friends liked hearing the stories. And we have all different kinds of shapes here. But one day, the quadrilateral began to feel dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," it grumbled. "There must be more to life." So the quadrilateral went back to the shapeshifter. "How may I help you now?" the shapeshifter asked the quadrilateral. "I think if I just had one more side and one more angle," said the quadrilateral, "my life would be more interesting." "That's easy to do," said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the quadrilateral into a pentagon. Life changed in a wonderful way. The pentagon was happy with all the new things it could do. On a baseball diamond, the pentagon could be home plate. It could be the section of a soccer ball, or appear whenever someone draw a 5-pointed star. The pentagon's favorite thing, however, was to be the headquarters of the United States military near Washington, D.C. "I see all the top secrets that way. It's too bad I can't tell them to my friends." The pentagon's friends couldn't help but feeling left out. After a while, time seemed to pass slowly for the pentagon, and it became dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," it grumbled. "There must be more to life." So the pentagon went back to the shapeshifter. "So you're here again," said the shapeshifter to the pentagon. "Now what would you like?" I think if I just had one more side and one more angle, said the pentagon, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the pentagon into a hexagon. Life changed again in a wonderful way. The hexagon was happy with all the new things it could do. The hexagon fit into floor tiles in houses and patios, the fancy crackers at parties and picnics. It worked as a socket of certain bolts and prongs of certain wrenches. The hexagon's favorite thing, however, was to be the cell in a beehive. I love watching the bees as they buzz in and out, it said. The hexagon spent so much time in the beehive, it was too busy to talk to his friends. The friends missed the hexagon and couldn't help but feeling ignored. Again and again, the shape became relentless, dissatisfied, and unhappy with its life. Again and again, it returned to the shapeshifter for more sides and more angles. The shapeshifter agreed to turn it into one more shape after another. A heptagon, an octagon, a nonagon, a decagon, and on and on. So we're going to stop our book right there because we just wanted to read a little bit about some of the shapes that we saw in this book. And now we're going to do an activity at level 0 of our Van Healy model. And we're going to focus on our teaks. And this is about geometry and measurement. The student applies mathematical processes standards to analyze attributes of two-dimensional shapes and three-dimensional solids to develop generalizations about their properties. The student is expected to identify attributes of two-dimensional shapes using informal and formal geometric language interchangeably, and classify and sort a variety of regular and irregular two- and three-dimensional figures regardless of orientation or size. So I have my friend here, and we have some shapes. We have all different kinds of shapes here. I'm going to spread them out for him. And he is going to tell me some things that he sees when he looks at all the different shapes that we have. What are some things that we see?
That looks like a soccer ball.
That looks like a soccer ball. So we have this, it looks like a soccer ball. What else?
And that looks like a wedge of cheese.
This looks like a wedge of cheese. What's a food that has cheese on it that also looks like this?
Pizza.
It looks like a slice of pizza. What else?
Looks like the moon.
This looks like the moon in the sky. Sometimes the moon looks like this at its different stages. What else?
Looks like a yield sign.
This looks like a yield sign. So we're looking at things that we see in our environment every day. And like the Van Healy model described, level 0 is at a visual. So the student is going to look at things that he's going to see things from a visual point of view. Do you see any other things that you recognize? No?
No.
Okay. So now I'm going to put these shapes back in here. And you're going to tell me if any of them look alike.
These look alike.
These look alike? Okay.
These look alike.
These look alike? Do you see anything else that looks alike? And these look alike. So that is an ideal activity that we could do with someone at a level 0, and that is something we could use in kindergarten. Now we're going to go to a level 1. And if we remember, level 1 is talking about analysis. So the teaks we're going to focus on here is for geometry and measurement. The student applies mathematical process standards to analyze attributes of two-dimensional shapes and three-dimensional solids to develop generalizations about their properties. The student is expected to distinguish between attributes that define two-dimensional or three-dimensional figure and attributes that do not define their shape, and identify two-dimensional shapes, including circles, triangles, rectangles, and squares, as special rectangles, rhombuses, and hexagons, and describe their attributes using formal geometric language. So now I'm going to bring out these our shapes again. And we're going to be looking about at attributes that make these shapes special. So, now you're going to tell me some attributes about the shapes. Remember when we talked about points?
These both have 4 sides and
These
4
both
corners.
have 4 sides and 4 points. Are they the same shape?
Yes.
Remember when we talked about this is a square, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a square too?
Yes.
Are all the sides the same length?
No.
No. So do we remember what was the shape that had 4 sides but they were different lengths? 2 are the same and these 2 are the same?
No.
It starts with an R.
Rectangle.
Rectangle. Good job. Is there anything else that we see that have similar qualities?
These are both round.
These are both round. Do they have any points?
No.
No. So what is this?
A circle.
This is a circle, and this is,
An oval.
it's an oval, because this is a longer circle. Okay. Do you see any other shapes that have similar qualities?
These both have 3 points. and
These are both
sides.
3 points. So what shapes are these?
Triangles.
These are both triangles. Do you see any other things that look the same?
These two look the same.
These 2 look the same. Do you know what shape these are?
Diamond.
These are diamonds. And they have how many points?
4.
They have 4 points. Do we see anything else that looks similar?
These two look similar.
These 2 are similar. How many sides do they both have the same amount of sides?
No.
Do they have the same amount of points?
No.
No. How many sides does that have?
5.
That has 5 sides. Oh, we can't even see those in the picture. This has 5 sides and this has
6.
6. Do you remember what the shapes are called?
Pentagon, hexagon.
Good job. Okay, so just to go over what we did, for our level 0, we had the student just look at the shapes and for the student just to tell us what they saw when they looked at the shapes. And then we sorted the shapes by attributes. And then for our level 1, we analyzed the attributes that each of the shapes had.